The challenge facing the population today is the balance of where water efficiency programs are impacting the public health. And that challenge portrays itself in both the protection of the planet as well as the protection of the health of the population. One of the areas where we're seeing a really stark focus on is how emissions and carbon emissions is balanced with water efficiency programs and how that directly impacts population health. The change of the climate is ultimately causing both drought and natural disasters that is inhibiting the delivery of care and protecting the patient health. Water security is important in the healthcare sector in order to make sure that the population health is maintained. In order to prevent infection spread and to make sure that the right delivery of care is maintained for patients, water is important in order to make sure that the hygienic and sanitation nature of the healthcare delivery setting is maintained. In the manufacturing of medicines, water is important in two main areas. One, in the distilling, cleaning and flushing steps of the manufacturing process, and two, and make sure that there is wastewater controls in place so that hazardous chemicals do not leak into the surrounding aquatic environment. The healthcare sector is taking a number of key steps in order to secure a water-positive future. The first step is in the hospital and care setting environments, where they are looking at monitoring the reduction of water use in the delivery of care. The second way is looking at the manufacturing of medicines and maintaining the wastewater discharge from a manufacturing facility. One way we are developing resistance to antibiotics is the chemicals that are discharged through wastewater streams when manufacturing the antibiotics, leaking into the public water systems that we ultimately consume as the population. The pharmaceutical sector is collaborating to make sure to share best practices on how they're controlling wastewater discharge when manufacturing antibiotics to ultimately reduce antimicrobial resistance. BSI has recently launched a certification scheme called Minimizing Risk of Antimicrobial Resistance. This kite mark certification can be used to evidence that the right wastewater controls are in place when manufacturing antibiotics. The third way with which the healthcare sector is focusing on water security is when they're focusing on smart metering and technology to actually monitor and identify where water reduction can happen in a healthcare setting. Smart metering, as well as identifying where leakages are happening in the delivery of care when using water to enable that, is one of the key ways where the healthcare sector is really driving change in this area. The pharmaceutical sector is focusing on three key areas related to water efficiency: improving water quality and making sure that the wastewater that is exerted from their manufacturing sites is appropriately controlled, the use and availability of water in the process of manufacturing and reducing the water use in manufacturing of medicines, helping with localized water efficiency efforts in some of the developing world. BSI is already helping the healthcare sector secure a water-positive future. BSI is partnering with the healthcare ecosystem to actually devise best practice standards on measuring the environmental impact of medicines across the life cycle. Through life cycle assessments, there is right now a need to make sure that medicine manufacturers are effectively differentiating between their water reduction strategies and their carbon reduction strategies and their focus on toxicity and other planetary boundaries. BSI has collaborated with the healthcare ecosystem to ensure that best practice standards are written and ultimately adhered to through the measurement of environmental impact of medicines.